In this presentation, let's get into the details of XML injection and XPath injection. Introduction to XML injection. XML injection is an attack generally done to compromise the logic of an XML application. XML injection could be used to insert malicious content into the resulting document. So, looking at the attack vectors, XML injections are possible at these different vectors of XML. So the first being in the section of the C data, then in the attributes of the nodes, in the node values. So let us consider an example with this XML injection. So as we can see here, there is an XML document that is given here, and with various different parameters about the different users, and the node being the user, and we could see here there are two different users, that is the Alice and Bob, with their description also being given there. So let us see from an attacker's perspective. If a malicious user wants to, or an attacker would want to add a new entry to the current XML document, then at the HTML part of the page where this XML is being also implemented, the attacker would probably give the credentials in such a manner wherein the username he would give as Bob, and the password with the appropriate password for it, and the email address with some part of the XML code also being attached with that. So as we could see here in the XML document that is being appended to the email address, we could see that a new user with a new username and password is also being injected. So the resulting XML document, as the attacker had appended a new an XML code for a new entry, so would probably result in the XML document being rewritten. So as we could see, a new entry of the username evil and a different password with the UID being 3 is also being given here. So this is one of the methods of the XML injection. So the other method would be the XML injection using C data. So considering the C data section, so C data section are generally used to escape the blocks of text that contain characters which are recognized as markup. Hence, characters enclosed in a C data section are not parsed by an XML parser. So now let's consider an example. As we could see here in the given code, XML code, that is wherein we have a C data in which we have the hello being enclosed, but then here the hello is considered as a character data, and henceforth it is not parsed as a markup. So it is possible for an attacker to include something into the C data and henceforth cause again an XML injection further. So let's go ahead and look how it is done. So let us consider from an attacker's perspective. As we could see here, there is an HTML document with basic HTML code inside it, and as we can see, an attacker could go ahead and try to exploit this vulnerability. So wherein the attacker could give in an input using the C data, wherein he could insert a basic script alert XSS or any other HTML tags or any other sort of a script inside the C data section. But then during the processing part, which indeed the C data portion of the code gets ignored, and henceforth the script alert hacked, which is being considered as it is in the HTML format. So coming to the XXE, that is the external entity attacks, as we could see here in this example that is given here, the entity that is XXE. So generally the set of valid entities that could be extended by defining the new entities, and if the definition of this new entity is the URL, then the entity is called as an external entity. But then these external entities generally tend to force the XML parser to access or fetch the data that is being specified in the URL, which would probably lead to the external entity attacks. So as we could see here in this scenario, the external entity, that is the XXE, wherein we could see we are trying to fetch the /etc/password file, which would probably crash the web server as it is trying to substitute the entity value with the contents of the /etc/password file. XPath injection. XPath is a language which has been designed to operate on data described with the XML data. The XPath injection generally allows the attackers to inject XPath elements in the queries, majorly used to bypass the authentication or access information in an unauthorized manner. So let us consider an example for the XPath injection. So as we can see here, an XML document that has been given here with the root name being the users, with the root node being the users, and the node being the user, with various different values also being given inside. So the XPath code that has been generated for this would be as given here, and if an attacker would want to try to go on and carry out the XPath injection, he would probably input in the HTML document in the following manner. So the username, he could probably go ahead and try to inject the following parameter, wherein that is the single quotation or 1 = 1, which is a logically true statement. And for the password field, he could probably give any random text, so which again would result in the following code that is as shown below. So which as we can see, it could either select the username or 1 = 1, which is a logically true statement, and it would discard the password field, so which in turn results in the XPath trying to get all the XML entries or XML nodes that are being present. So looking into the mitigations of the XML and the XPath injection, we could see that the major mitigation or the defense would be that the input validation and input sanitization should be implemented before the input data reaches the main program code. Then another major defense could be that of the disabling the resolution of custom entities in XML to local files and remote HTTP requests by using libxml_disable_entity_loader of true function. And in addition to the existing input validation, implementing a more sophisticated approach that escapes or encodes the characters that can be interpreted as XML would be a better option.